Hello, hi student, how are you? This time you will learn about the heat conductors and heat insulators. So what is the heat conductors? Heat conductors are materials that allow heat to flow. Example of heat conductors materials are zinc, iron, silver, nickel, copper, mercury, and aluminium. Heat insulators are materials that prevent the heat flow. Example of heat insulator are rubber, plastic, glass, and wood. Heat conductor materials are used widely in our daily life. These are examples of the use of heat conductors. Mercury. A mercury in a thermometer is a good heat conductor. It can detect change in temperature very quickly. The bottom of a pan is made up of a metal that allows heat to flow quickly to the food. This can make the food to cook faster. The base of an iron is made up of a metal to enable it to conduct heat so that clothes can be ironed quickly. Here are some examples of the uses of heat insulator in our daily life. The wall of an ice ball is made up of a fiberglass or polystyrene, which are heat insulator that can maintain the coolness of substances inside the box. Oven gloves that are heat insulator can prevent your hands from getting scalded while taking food trays out from the ovens. Another uses of heat insulator in our daily life. Cooking utensils made of wood are capable of preventing heat from flowing to the hand while cooking. Asbestos is used in making the firefighter suits to protect them from extreme high temperature. This is activity experiment to study the uses of different materials as a heat insulator. The problem statement here is, do different materials have the same ability to act as a heat insulator? Hypothesis is, different materials have different abilities to act as a heat insulator. From this diagram, you can determine that the manipulated variable will be the type of insulator. Flat bottom flask P is act as a control of experiment, which means it is set up to remain unchanged or unaffected by other variables. It is used as a benchmarking or a point of comparison against the test results. After carrying out this experiment, we can compare the observation obtained in P with the result getting in Q, R, and S. The responding variable will be the final temperature, and variable that keep constant is the volume of the water. The flat bottom flask Q is covered by using a paper. Flat bottom flask R covered with an aluminium, and S is covered with a cotton wool. In the meanwhile, P is left without any cover to let the process occur naturally. Now let's look at the procedure of this experiment. Set up the apparatus as shown in the above diagram. Fill each flask with hot water of the same volume and initial temperature. Since each of the flasks is filled with the hot water, let's assume the hot water is 100 degrees Celsius. Next procedure is to record the final temperature of the water in each flask after 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, flask P record a 80 degrees Celsius temperature, Q 87 degree temperature, R is 84 degree temperature, and S 90 degree temperature. If we compare the results obtained, flask S can keep heat better compared to other flasks. This is because flash ash is covered with a cotton wool, which is a good insulator that prevents the heat from flowing out. The second best insulator in this activity is a paper. This is because the temperature of the hot water after 10 minutes records the second higher in flash Q. Aluminium foil is more on heat conductor because it allows the heat flow out easily, causing the final temperature to be lower. We can conclude that the cotton wool is the best material of heat insulator, followed by paper, and lastly aluminium foil, which is more on the heat conductor. Different materials have different abilities to act as a heat insulator. So that's the end of our lesson. Continue doing your work and see you again in next class.